Hi, I'm Rhonda from Shore Financial Wellness.
And I'm Carol from Shore Financial Wellness. We're talking today about credit scores. This is another in the series of videos about how COVID is affecting personal finances. And credit scores are important to a lot of people. What are the components of a credit score, Rhonda?
So the credit score takes into consideration 5 major categories. And I'm going to list the categories in order of importance. The first category is payment history. Have you paid your credit accounts on time? How many missed or late payments? Those are all important ingredients to the determination of your payment history. That's 35% in terms of importance to your credit score. Second category, how much you owe. That's about 30% of your credit score. So the scores considers the amounts you owe as a comparison to all your available balances. So if you're using, let's say, as a 5,000 available balance and you're only using about 1,000, that's about the limit in terms of like getting a predictive model of how much you owe. So the idea is you have available credit and you don't use the maximum amount of the available credit, you use as small as possible. That's what we call the utilization of your credit.
So don't max out your card.
Right. In other words, and if you spend on your card and pay it down, then you don't have an outstanding balance. So that's good utilization. Third category, the length of your credit history. That's about 15%. The longer the credit history, the better your score. If you've had a couple of credit cards for a year or less, it's not enough of a time frame to determine what kind of future behavior you'll have. So hold on to your credit cards, and the longer you have them and the good behavior that goes along with it, the better your score will be. The next category is new credit. In other words, opening several credit cards or asking for new credit cards can have an impact on your credit score. Now, it's only 10% of the score, so it's not going to make that much of an impression, but if you don't have a long credit history and you start applying for new cards and you apply every couple of months for new cards, that could leave a negative impression on your future behavior. Also, the last one, types of credit. So it's a good idea to get a mix of different kind of credit. Installment loans, retail accounts, credit cards, mortgages, car loans. That shows a good mix of credit. And you don't necessarily have to have one of each, but it is a good idea to mix it up so that you can demonstrate good behavior on the various types of credit out there.
So why is this important? Why should we care about our credit score?
Well, our credit report, our credit score, is really important if you want to, go out into the future marketplace and, get a car loan, take a loan on a house, even just getting additional credit, any type of installment loans. It's a good idea to know what your credit score is so that if you have to make adjustments, then you know the areas that you have to concentrate on to bring your score up.
Now, I understand the average score in the United States is something like 685 out of a possible 850. So if you have a credit score of about 700, that's pretty good, right?
That's considered, like, in the metrics of looking at credit scores, that's considered like a very, very good score. In some cases, it would even be an excellent score. And the idea is if you want to change your credit score and you have a big purchase coming up or some big loan that you want to apply for in order to complete a purchase, you can't start a month before. It takes time to build up a credit history, to show, demonstrate good behavior. So that's why it's really important to know how to get a good ballpark of your credit score, or in fact, go to some of the outside sources to even get your credit score. So you have the availability of time to improve it.
What is not included on your credit score?
So the credit score will never take into consideration your age, your race, your salary, your employment history, where you live, any personal information is not a part of determining your credit score.
And one last thing, what is myfico.com?
So FICO is the dominant reporting agency to the creditors of your score. FICO also has a consumer-friendly portion to it where you can go on myfico.com and answer a series of questions about the predictive model of what your score would be. So the questions would determine in terms of your payment history, how much you owe, the length of your credit history. And it's a good way to sort of give them a little bit of advance modeling of what your credit score would be. And also it can highlight some of the areas that you can work on in order to improve your credit score. It's free. It's accessible to anybody that needs to use it. And the FICO reporting tool is really helpful, again, to know in advance what your credit score is going to look like and how to improve it.
Great. Thank you so much. I'm Carol.
I'm Rhonda, and we're from Shore Financial Wellness.